Hey guys, so we're on the next episode of our Understanding Laser Parameters using C-Wider, and we are now on E for emission. So emission is how is that light being emitted from the device, and we have continuous wave, pulsing and superpulsing. It's another one that gets a little bit emotive, a little bit like class, but ultimately, in a nutshell, when we turn our laser device on, our continuous wave, the light is continuously emitting, and our peak power is the exact same as our average power. Pulsing, superpulsing, there are different ways of doing this, but essentially the light is being turned on and off at different frequencies, and our peak power is different to what our average output would be. So it's really important that if you're using pulsing or superpulsing, you do need to understand the calculations. We have pulse frequency, which is how many times that light turns on and off. So 50 hertz is 50 pulses per second, for example. And we have the duty cycle is the percentage of the time that light is on. So a 50% duty cycle is on 50% of every second. So if you're using 50% duty cycle, it would only be on half a second for every 1 second. So an example up here, we've got a 33.3% duty cycle here. So the beam that is in blue is only on 33.3% of the emission time. So you need to know what your duty cycle or both your pulse width, which is your duration, and your pulse frequency to then determine what your average output of the device actually is. And, if we took 10 watts continuous wave, so 10 joules per second would be 10 watts continuous. But if we had 10 watts pulsed at any frequency, that would be 5 joules per second. So really important to understand those elements. And when it comes to superpulsing, it's fixed pulse width, and it has a variable frequency. So if pulse is 200 nanoseconds and frequency is 1000 hertz, then there are 1000 pulses in 200 nanoseconds that are 200 nanoseconds long. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because if I have a 10 watt device that is 2 times 200 nanoseconds times 1000 hertz is actually 2 milliwatts, 0.002 watts average. This is why it's really important to understand not just the peak power of your device if you're using pulsing or superpulsing, what your average output as well. And continuous wave, like I say, our 10 watts continuous wave is 10 watts peak and